Hi, David here. So, I want to do some exploration during this video with you. This week, I've been discovering some amazing stuff about arrays in JavaScript that I actually didn't know. Genuinely, I didn't know about them. I'm amazed by what you could do. We're gonna go into an exploration about playing with the width. So, there is something called width in array. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. I just didn't. So, what it means is you can actually use the width keyword to create an array, and by replacing values from the previous array with something you want, with something you want, with something you want. You got it? With. So let's do that. If we do initial array here, we can say with. In that width, we're just gonna set the position we want to get. So let's say position 1, and we want to put 5 at position 1. So if I go here and I'm gonna have some result, you're gonna see that result. It's supposed to have the value. It says width. Something is not working. Okay, my bad. I just didn't see that I set position 1, but actually if we set position 0 here, we see that instead of 1, we got 5, but then we got 2, 3, and that other thing, right? You clearly see that width gives you a different array, because if I go to initial array didn't move. So if you start understanding this concept, there is something interesting that you could do with it, right? For example, one of the things you need to know about JavaScript is that name there, name packages, is basically at a place where if you change it to one place, it will have an impact somewhere else. So let's say here, the array res, so that we're gonna take position 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna say position 3. And then in that position 3 here, we're gonna say the name is equal Packages Academy. So you see right away, by changing this to Packages Academy, everything else has changed, right? So if you know that, you could then say, well, no, on position 3, I would like to change name with Packages Academy, right? So you're saying that I want to create res with the position 3 Packages Academy, and you see right away that now by doing so, you get a copy of your array, which is in the way, I don't know if you will call it like that, but it will be a deep copy, because you're basically saying at this position there, you able to pass something else. Now, let me try something here. Once again, this is exploration. I'm doing it live. I'm not cutting that video. I'm just doing it live, and I'm discovering that just with you right there. And hopefully you get a sense of just how you can try to explore things and understand concept better. So here I actually pass an object. That's a different reference, right? So if you look at it from a code perspective here, what you have is the fact that you have an array, an object that has a property name, and that name here is packages. And then you basically say, hey, I'm gonna give you another one, which is Packages Academy. So what you're doing there is, if this is object A and this is object B, A is different than B. This is for sure. A is different than B. And then even better is if you go here and remove that part, even though they have the same property name and the same value packages, they are different, right? So if you start thinking that way, you're like, hey, I can actually create a deep copy of that thing. So let's go back to the code. And so here I could say, this is packages, but then when I make that change, right, you see that part there, it's exactly, I'm just copying that thing there. Position 3, I know you're an object, so I'm gonna give you something that looks like you, and then I will make the change here, Packages Academy, and I see this is changing as well. So they're completely different right now. That object here is different than this one, right? Initial. Right here, let me put it this way. I think that will work. It's right there, and we see that width allows you to do something crazy like that. And even better, now I'm gonna take it to another level. I can say everything that is inside initial array position 3. We don't need that. we can just use that. Thank you, Copilot. The spread syntax didn't work on position 3. That makes sense because, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So how do you want me to do that? I can say initial array position 3, because this should work. This should still work. So you see when I do that, it basically gives me a copy of that thing there, and actually that's not what I want. So we should just go back here and say name is equal packages, because basically that's what we get. And we make that change over there, and we see that being reflected over here. This is actually interesting. I like the with keyword, the with function there. That's interesting. And here, actually, this thing is complaining because the plugin that I use doesn't have support for, I don't think that, I'm probably making a mistake there. I need to do some configuration in the tfconfig, but I could actually solve that by saying with, not like that. I just need to say interface array. You know that this one takes something like this, and I can just add a width and then say width is, yeah, something that does something like that. And yeah, this one is not working really well, but yeah, you see my point there. You can add that into the interface like this, and that should work. But you don't have to do it because it's actually a native JavaScript function. Here is just TypeScript being really polite and telling me, hey, things are not well typed right there. And that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show you that there is that with keyword that is something you need to explore, because it can help you do some crazy things, just like I shown in this video. And if you want to see more of this, go on Hackages. We have tons of amazing content there for you, including test-driven development as a way to learn TypeScript. And you should be learning TypeScript, because if you're not doing that, you probably have a problem. And I don't know how to help you besides telling you, go on Hackages. I'll see you there. You take care. Bye.